What is it? What is that nagging feeling about the Range Rover Velar? That little suspicion that not everything is quite as clear-cut as it should be? I don't know. Because, on the face of it, everything up here in this imperious cabin is very straightforward. There was a gap in the Range Rover lineup, see, and it is now filled. The range started with the Evoque and then, via a large leap, went to the Range Rover Sport before naturally culminating with the Range Rover. This new Velar sits in that large space between the Evoque and the Sport. Mechanically, then, this 4.8 meters long car is more Sport minus than Evoque plus. It's not as full of fat as the Sport, sure, but it does sit on a longitudinal engined, aluminium platform, the same one as Jaguar's XF and F-Pace, incidentally, rather than the transverse engine setup of the Evoque. The Velar's chassis contains more aluminium than any of the Jaguars, mind. It's bigger than them all, too, and, fairly obviously, it is more off-road focused. But, fundamentally, that's where it starts. The Velar, then, ends up with an 81% aluminium body, with some steel under the boot floor, where it doesn't hurt that it brings the weight distribution rearwards, albeit there's a composite tailgate to maintain a low center of gravity, and some magnesium under the bonnet to, conversely, lighten the front end. Consequently, the claimed kerb weight for all versions, barring the biggest diesel, is less than 1,900 kilograms. In the same way that the Jaguar models on this platform have double wishbones at the front and an integral link setup at the back, which is like multi-link but with additional, lateral rigidity increasing components, so too does the Velar. Think of the Velar as a semi-skimmed Range Rover, then, to the Sport's full fat and the RR's gold top. The Evoque is, what? Kinda not airy. If you want it less figuratively, compared with the Sport, the Velar's towing limit is 2,500 kilograms, not 3,500 kilograms, and it doesn't get a low-ratio transfer case. Of its 6 engine options, 4 are 2.04-cylinder units, the other 2 V6s, and the 4 pots, as standard, get coil springs. Air springing, which Land Rover uses to great effect to increase off-road capability on big models, is standard on V6s and optional on the 4s. Some of those things will inhibit the Velar off-road, we'll come to that, but that might not matter because Land Rover says this is the most dynamically focused Range Rover yet. We'll come to that too.